Get AdvisorFIT with Olivia Luper, a series of interviews with financial consultants and industry experts helping financial advisors strategize, market, and grow their business using core fitness values and analogies. Do something today that your future self will thank you for with Get AdvisorFIT. Here's your host, Olivia Luper.
Here we are. We're going to do a Get AdvisorFIT episode with Jeremy Blubaugh. Jeremy is a retired sales rep, now turned WOW client specialist, author and founder of Coinflip Marketing, and he is a damn great person to know. And you are going to find out why in this episode while we talk about his specialty. So, Jeremy, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And sorry I pressured you into saying that damn good person to know. So thank you for saying that, though. I love it.
Well, I wouldn't have said it if I didn't think it was true. So, can you start by sharing a brief background about yourself and your experience in the marketing industry, specifically as it relates to your specialty, which is gift giving strategies?
Yeah, so for the longest time I can remember, I've been giving gifts as a sales rep. Now obviously made it into a business, but really the story of how I got to where I'm at here with Coinflip Marketing. I was actually an internal wholesaler, got promoted off the desk back in the late 2000s, late 2007, 2008. And when I got promoted off the desk to Minnesota, which actually I was the inside sales rep covering that territory. So it was pretty easy to get meetings. Sorry for any advisors from Minnesota listening to it. It wasn't the place for me and my wife to live. It's just too cold there. So I started looking for jobs outside of Minnesota. We ended up moving down to St. Louis, where I knew actually a national sales manager was willing to take a leap of faith and move me down to St. Louis. I had family there. Even though St. Louis is cold, not quite as cold as Minnesota. And I learned pretty quickly it was really hard to get meetings. And that's when I read the book, Giftology by John Ruhlin. If you haven't read the book, check it out. But when I started to read this book that John wrote, it was all about using gifts to kind of cut through the noise and build relationships and take your client relationships to the next level. I really learned like it wasn't really specific to this financial services industry that I was as a wholesaler or for financial advisors, because he did a lot of high-end gift giving, $3,000 gifts, $5,000 gifts. I've even seen here on YouTube and LinkedIn in the last year or two, like giving out $25,000 gifts. Wow. If you're an advisor, listen to this, podcast, if you spend $101 on a client, you're slapped on the wrist, you do it again, you're probably going to get kicked out of the industry. It's a no-no. You can't do that. And that's when I really started to learn about personalization, really getting to know your clients. And I really realized it was more about the thought that counted. It wasn't so much the gift, it was the delivery, the timing, and how you packaged the gift and made it all about them. And so it didn't have to be an expensive gift to have a really big impact, either open a door or wow your best client. And that's really I kind of made my business is how do you kind of give the best bang for your buck? Because no one that listened on the call who I was dealing with could send a $3,000 gift. And 2019, when my last external wholesaler job said, let me go. I said, I'm retiring and hanging up my boots and watch Coinflip Marketing. And, we're 4 years into business and here we are having this conversation. So.
Yes. I've been following you since I got in this, into my business, which was around the same time. So 2018 was for me. And every time I would have an advisor say, oh, we need to send so-and-so a gift. Do you have any ideas? And I was like, no, but I remember that guy, Jeremy. He talks about this. I bet I should pay attention to him. So I have answers from my advisors about gift giving, because of course, like you said, it seems natural. Okay, we want to send a gift, but how do you do one that feels authentic and not just like sending you some crap because I feel like I have to? And that's by personalizing it. So what are some of the ways that advisors can use gift giving as a powerful marketing tool, both for like their current clients and also maybe people who aren't their clients?
Yeah, so let's start with current clients. And okay. I don't want to offend any advisor listening to this on their gift giving strategy, but I do think most people go about the gift giving process wrong. And if they are giving gifts, there is really a way to take it to the next level to really affect your marketing and get some return on investment. And what we try to teach at Coinflip Marketing is this process called USP Gift Giving. And the U stands for unique, the S stands for surprised, and the P stands for personalized. And before I kind of break down kind of how to kind of implement those three things, and the reason why I say most do it wrong is most financial advisors, and not just financial advisors, anybody in the business community, tend to gift on birthdays, holidays. They never really do anything random, and there's not much thought into the gift. It's, hey, all my 300 clients are getting this Easter ham, off they go. All my 300 clients are getting this tin of popcorn, off it goes. And it doesn't really feel authentic. Doesn't mean it doesn't have an impact on your business, and clients don't appreciate it. But if you truly want to use gift giving to get a huge return on investment, to make your advocates even like you even more, you have to implement what we call USP gift giving. So first, let's unravel that U, the unique. And it really kind of comes down to really getting to know your client. What do they like that's different that they might never have actually gotten before? And even if they have gotten it before, it's the fact that you put some thought into it that, hey, my best client loves the golf. We're going to go out and find something that's uniquely related to him around golf and buy or her and buy that gift for them. Now, they might already have that gift, but once again, it's the thought that counts, that really kind of goes a long way with that gift. The S part of this equation is probably the most important part, and that's a surprise. And what we mean by this is kind of going back to my earlier comments, is not sending a gift on Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or the holiday season or the birthdays. It's the random Tuesday when that Mr. and Mrs. client get home, or if it's a family gift, they get home from work, there's a gift, sit on the front porch, they open it up, there's a personalized card with a personalized gift that's all about them. That's when it takes this gifting strategy over the top. It creates a wow moment because they weren't expecting it. They might have the worst day in the world. They get that gift. You just change their mood. They change their day. Even if they are having a great day, it's going to even take them, elevate that mood that they have. So the surprise part of the gift giving strategy is probably one of the most underlooked part, because most people tend to gift when it's expected. And personalized. We're big in engraving stuff. Doesn't have to be engraved. But my point is, sending a golf gift because Mr. or Mrs. Client is a golfer, that's still personalization. Like, I knew that my client was a golfer, I'm going to send them a golf gift, versus, hey, I'm going to send them a tin of popcorn on Christmas or the holiday season, or an Easter ham or Thanksgiving pie, or whatever the case may be. So it doesn't have to be engraved. The personalization kind of go back to unique, as long as it's about something about that client that they're passionate about, that is going to strike a chord with them, to get them talking about you, to say, wow, look what my financial advisor did for me. So that's really what we talk about when it comes to gift giving strategy, because I think the return on investment for setting, when I talked about the expected gifts, not saying it's not there, but if you truly want to implement a gift giving strategy that gets a return on investment, that gets your clients talking about you to other people all the time, it's taking this USP gift giving strategy and intact and implementing it.
Yeah, so am I allowed to share the card that you sent to me?
Sure can.
Okay, because I loved it. And okay, so Jeremy and I have been talking a lot lately about how, I can share his services with my advisors, and how I can help, him in his business space, and, we can just help more advisors. So we've been chatting a lot lately, and I, to my surprise, received a nice little gift in the mail and a card. Now, when he was showing me the cards on the computer, I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I get it. But like, to get one that was actually personalized to me was a very different experience, because, well, we're all a little egomaniacal, okay? I might be more so than other people. I think you might have to be a little bit to run a podcast. But anyways, so here's my card. And you'll notice I'm on the newspaper in this card, and it says client attracting marketing, which he took from my LinkedIn headline. I know this because I just wrote it like a month ago. It hasn't always been there, and it's not on all my marketing materials. Yes, I know, bad me, but I was trying it out. So here it is, client attracting marketing with my face. But that's not it. First, I thought that was really cool. Second is on the inside, some books, because he could tell from my branding and my information online that I am really into books. I have a master's in English literature, so you can see content social, and it has my name as the author on these books. So that was really neat. And then, of course, his message. which was not just generic. It was actually, the things that we've been talking about together. And then the gift was the E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. I had never heard of this, but I had told Jeremy that I was basically struggling with getting to the next level in my business. And he said, I have the book for you. And so, I wasn't expecting to receive this from him, but I did. And it was a nice little surprise and it really turned my day around. And it checked all the boxes, U, F, and P. So, I mean, you might be listening to this and saying, yeah, that's cool. But when you actually get it yourself, it's a completely different experience.
Yeah. And some people might see that card and say that's too over the top for me, or how do I get my client pictures? It doesn't have to be client pictures. It's going to be something like this, the simple thank you with the client's name on the front. Like, it doesn't have to be over the top. I'm over the top type of person. That's
Yeah, me too.
Deliver. But and I get financial advisors like, I would never send a personalized picture in the mail to my client or my name, client book. That's fine. You don't have to do that. Like, just a simple thank you card with a personalized gift is way better than every single gift or package they've ever gotten in their life. The bar is so low with gift giving that when you do something like this, it just puts it over the top. And like you said, it gets that mood. And when they open it up and see that it's a gift about them, when it's golf or a book that you recommended, or they love to travel or whatever the case may be, it has a very, very profound impact on your business and your relationship with that individual.
What's really kind of interesting too, now that I've experienced it from you, is like, and I was talking about this in marketing recently, that your marketing or gift giving marketing strategy, in a way, it's like holding up a mirror to the person, right? So like, I got to see, okay, this is what Jeremy's perception of me is, and it was spot on. So I liked it. And we, like I said, we're all very me-centric people. I mean, that's just by nature. That's how we're built to survive. So it's really, when things are personalized, it just really takes it to the next level.
But and I'll elaborate on that, because a lot of where my business comes from is obviously the idea of giftology, but it goes back to a book that was written over 100 years ago, and that's How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And in that book, if you remember that book, if you haven't read that book, there's a quote.
Yeah, it's just been so long.
Yeah, in that book, he said, when you use people's names, to them, it's the sweetest sound in the world. So when you put their name personalized on a card, like I did with you, with your name on the book, or a picture, which once again might not be for everybody in this thing, but it's my style. Like, you are hammering down on what Dale Carnegie's been talking about for 100 years. And this will probably lead us to the next question. Think of all the communication that your clients are getting now. It's digital. And all of a sudden something comes through them that's actually physical. It's a handwritten note, or it's a card like I sent you that's very highly personalized. Like, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb from everything else that they're getting inundated with on a day-to-day basis. So I think that's really why it works. We can kind of go into more of the psychology if you want to, but I'm a big believer what Carnegie talked about. And that was a big reason why when we started Coinflip Marketing, we really spent some time using names on cards and pictures on cards, because we knew it worked, because of that fact, what Carnegie says in this book.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, taking it also, which is where my train of thought was going, but I lost it. Holding a mirror up to your prospective client. You think about your prospective client, they have a lot of choices for financial advisors, right? But ultimately, the person that they're going to choose is the person that shows them the kind of person that they want to be. So if you're saying, I have the solution for this, and this is what your life could look like, and then the other advisor says, okay, I have this solution and this is what your life could look like. And then there's a third advisor who doesn't mention any of that, and they just talk about returns and all kinds of boring stuff. Well, forget him, because nobody's going to pay attention to him. So now we're down to the other two. The client is going to pick which reflection of them, their future selves, that they like the best. So, in your messaging, that's why it's so important in your messaging to speak to their emotions, their primal feelings, to survive and thrive in this world, and show them what that could look like with you. And that helps you attract the right kind of clients, the clients who want what you have to offer. So I really want to get into what you started to talk about, which is, today in the digital age, ChatGPT is here. There is so much content being created by real content creators, by interns, but it's just, we're going to be inundated with so much crap. And I wonder, what is your stance here? Like, do you think, and I think, I mean, I know what I think, and I know you think, so let's just say it. This giving of physical gifts and like also doing things in person in a personalized way is going to be even more important, because it's going to be different than all the other crap that's out there, right? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, so I read earlier this year, maybe it was late last year, that it's estimated that 347.3 billion emails will be sent daily in 2023. And that was before ChatGPT was even a thing. So I think that number is going to skyrocket north of 400 billion.
Oh, yeah.
I'm already starting to see it. I'm getting even more inundated with this terrible LinkedIn messages, because there's now a way for all these people to kind of create content that's honestly, personally, I don't think that great. I do think ChatGPT is a great tool to start with, but I still think you have to massage it, make it your own, get the robotic feature out of it. But so think about that, 347 billion emails per day. That comes across almost 48 emails per person on this planet. If your clients are busy, successful CEOs or business owners or whatever the case, that email system is probably 150, 200 emails that they're getting inundated in a day. Then throw in the cell phone, the WhatsApp, their Facebook page, their Instagram that they're on. Then they have a family. They might coach sports. Like, there is so much noise, especially from a digital standpoint, going into your client's life. You talk about a way to stick out is the physical mail. And if you're questioning that thought process, like, I want to stay digital, we're not saying get rid of digital. We're saying you got to pair them up.
Yeah.
And I would ask yourself this question. When's the last time you got something in the mail? Which obviously we know the answer for you a few days ago, but for anybody listening, when's the last time you got something in the mail and said, wow, like, this person really cares about me, or this person really wants to get my attention, or this person really wants to talk to me? It probably hasn't happened in a long time, if ever. And the reason why I still get them in my mail, and once again, is I still get invitations to steak dinners for financial advisors, and the worst invites in the world with, we're going to talk about annuities or whatever the case is going to be. And apparently it might work because they're still doing it. But
yeah,
I'm like, really? Like, I would think just taking that money you're spending on that and sending out gifts to your 20 best clients would have way bigger of an impact from kind of a, trickle down effect of like, hey, I'm going to give you more referrals, talk about your business, than actually sending out a steak dinner invite that gets no one's attention. And by the way, the advisor who does it here in my community, I've gotten 5 in the last year, doesn't have the right name. So he goes,
no, yeah,
right, Jeremy. So you're kind of missing the mark, is my point. And that's where I really think I'm coming, is don't say get rid of digital. You still got to use it. You still have a website. We still think you probably should have some LinkedIn, some probably email nurturing, a newsletter, all that type of stuff. It's great stuff to have. But for your best clients and your best products, going direct mail with personalized mailers, personalized gifts is a phenomenal way to keep their attention or get their attention to have better relationships or start relationships.
Yeah, and there's still science. I mean, there's science behind the tactile experience, right? Like touching something, feeling something, holding it in your hand. That's something that is becoming, I think is going to, in the near future, become more valued because of this. Oh my gosh, we are just so inundated with digital. And it's funny to think about, because while you were talking, I was thinking about, those memes that's like, oh my gosh, I spent $5 on a ringtone in 2020, and now or 2020, probably earlier than that, but maybe in the 90s, and now I don't ever take my phone off silent. Well, I feel like now it's going to do the same thing for like do not disturb. Like, everybody's just going to have their phone on do not disturb all the time. And then they're only going to go do the things in there that they want to do.
Fair disclosure, mine's already on that. Like, if you're not, if you're not like on my favorites list, or like, first of all, you can't, like, my phone rings and it's not a recognized number, goes straight to voicemail. Exactly. I don't want to talk to you. I just don't. And if you leaving the greatest voice messages in the world, yourself, I'm probably not responding. Like, read my LinkedIn profile.
I don't even listen to my voicemail.
Yeah, I like read my profile. If you want to reach out to me, it says I'm open to connecting. Send me a message direct, a personalized message, bring LinkedIn, I'll respond. But it's funny. I go back to that. I've probably in the last 2 years and we're kind of going on a rabbit hole here. And since I've really got down this LinkedIn, already posting every day, I'm adamant about sending personalized messages. I've gotten 2 in my LinkedIn, 2. And I did business with one of those individuals. The other one just wasn't a fit. Second thing on a LinkedIn direct message. So this thing just like prospecting, getting personalized and prospecting. There's an ideal client profile. I wanted to reach out in the SaaS space. He was up in Wisconsin. I read his LinkedIn profile. And in his LinkedIn profile, it said, if you're a golfer, tell me the #1 golf course you'd love to play. If you're not a golfer, tell me your favorite movie and I'll respond and we'll connect. I did that. I said, hey, I would love to play, Augusta like any other golfer, but if I can't play Augusta, I'd love to get on Medina in Chicago. And my favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption. His response to me was, thank you for responding to that. I've had that on my LinkedIn profile for 3 years. You're the first person to ever answer that question.
Jeremy, I just got goosebumps.
Just like, that's how easy, that's how low the bar is set.
The bar is so low. And you know what, you guys, it's April 27th. This probably won't come out for a little while, but you need to go back to Jeremy's post from earlier this week. Maybe it was like the 23rd or 24th on LinkedIn. And there's a little video and it shows you how to put a message listen through to the end, a pre-written message in your phone to go to LinkedIn to thank people for engaging with your post. Now, what you can do is you can put it in your phone so that when you go to LinkedIn, it's easy to copy and paste it, but then take a minute or two to look at their profile, say something, about why you're actually reaching out to them. Because yes, it's a good practice to thank people for engaging with your posts, especially if you're trying to grow your network, but do it in a personalized way. You don't want to just, spam people with your pre-recorded message. Say something personal. And like Jeremy's story here, you might find when you're looking through their profile, a little nugget where you can sort of slip in, and be noticed, get yourself noticed with that, decision maker or founder or whatever type of person that you're trying to connect with. So find his post, write some personalized messages. The bar is super low. And Jeremy, you have really gotten me in the habit of doing this as well. Because one of the reasons is that it also helps with your warming up the algorithm for your own posts. So if you go and send some personal messages before you make your own post, it also helps. So it's a good time to do it. Find some people that you've been wanting to connect with, either use your pre-written message or write a personalized one at that time, whatever feels comfortable to you. And you just never know what can come from it. 3 years this guy had it on his profile and nobody noticed except him. He's never going to forget you.
Yeah. And so think about like a direct message when someone connects. I still do to this day. I do a lot of voice messages, or sometimes if it's someone I really want to talk to, I shoot a quick video on my phone. I know from compliance reasons, some people listening to this might not be able to do that, but if you can, that's once again, just a simple hey, thanks for connecting in the voice message. If you don't know how to do a voice message, shoot me a direct message on a LinkedIn, and I'll show you real quick with 4 steps how you can do it on a LinkedIn app. It's pretty easy, a voice message. And once again, that is, people are checking their LinkedIn messages. It's not full of crap yet, unless you're Gary Vaynerchuk and Tony Robbins, then yes, it's full of crap. But if you're a chief marketing officer of a small business in Montgomery, Alabama, it's not full of, and that person might be making $750,000 a year and might be a great client for our financial advisor. And they're going to listen to it and they're going to appreciate it because their email, their voicemail, you're just probably not getting through anymore. Unless, like you said, you're their favorite, or you're selling the new Apple iPhone, maybe have a chance. But
that's another thing. Let's be clear, we're not talking about pitch slapping. We're not talking about sending let me sell you something, I just met you messages. We're not talking about that. We're talking about thanking someone for engaging with your post, or mentioning something noteworthy from their profile, or basically just telling them why you're connecting. The other day, somebody was interacting with my post and I went to his profile and I got his last name was Gray. And he got his profile gave out very Dorian Gray vibes, from that book, the Gray one.
Is the podcast changing now?
No. You know what I'm talking, 50 Shades of Gray. And I was like,
yeah.
hey,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like, I just came across your profile and it got very Dorian Gray vibes. So, I'm just letting you know, that's why I started following you, because I thought it was kind of cool and mysterious. And now I want to know what you do. And so sometimes I just tell people, hey, I'm following you because of this or whatever. Or I'm really interested in how you coach people to change their brains. So I can't wait to see your content. And you never know what can come from stuff like that.
I
But
agree.
yes, we did go down a rabbit hole. Oh, that's okay though. That's like that's the meat, that's the good
Yeah,
stuff.
the good stuff.
But like, these questions are good too, though. Okay, what is this? Okay, KYC. What are some creative ways to personalize gifts and make them memorable for clients?
Yeah,
Did we
so
ever go over this? Because I don't know.
we have not. So I think this is a very important thing, because when I was a wholesaler, until this day, when I talk to financial advisors and business owner and ask them, tell me about your clients, most people kind of go into your typical, oh, well, Adam owns a business. He's got $2.5 million with me. His wife, Susie, they live. No. Like, what do you know about Adam and Susie? Like, what do they like to do? Who do they cheer for? What's their kids' names? Where do they like to travel? Like, what do you know about them that you can relate to kind of spike a chord to send personalized gifts and personalized outreaches? And most people struggle with that. Most people probably mentally know something about their best clients. It's not, number one, not documented anywhere. And they're not, if it is documented anywhere, they're not using that information to your advantage. So let's talk really quick about how to get that data if you don't have that data. So the best strategy I tell financial advisors is to get this data, take a Monday afternoon off, 2:00, turn the phones off, or obviously maybe the one assistant's up front answering the phone and saying, hey, they're in meetings. Spend the next 2 or 3 hours, buy the team a late lunch or maybe an early happy hour dinner or something like that, and go line by line with your best 25, 30 clients and jot down what you know about them on a personal level. Might be where they went to school, what sports team they cheers for. Do they like to golf? Do they like to travel? Like, what do you know about them that you can put it down and you store that information in your CRM? Now, some listen to this say, well, you know what? I might not know any of that information, or I just know a little bit about each one of those clients. And I'll follow up with you for a worksheet that we have so you can kind of jot it and you can maybe put it in the podcast notes. But two things you can do. Number one, if you're at a broker dealer or you're a registered investment advisor, one of the best ways to do this and get this data is set on a quick survey. Hey, listen, we're looking to do a little more intimate events in 2023 or 2024. We're really looking to get a deeper dive with knowing our best clients. Could you take 3 to 5 minutes to fill out this survey so we can get to know you a little bit more on a personal level? And it can be very basic questions. If you're at a broker dealer, or you're not comfortable doing that as a registered investment advisor, then you can, what I tell financial advisors or teams, to start gamifying the process. And what I mean about gamifying the process. So anytime a client calls, it's on this list that you want to get this data, maybe have a list of 5 questions you want to ask them. And it could be simple like, hey, Susie, thanks for calling. Mr. and Mrs. Advisors on the phone right now. A quick question for you, because I was, out walking my dog today. Do you have a dog? Like obviously maybe a little more creative and, intelligent like that, but like gamify it. And then maybe these 5 questions over the next 5 months, give your team a bonus for every question that they can get answered, maybe a $10 bonus for every question they can answer, and gamify it. And now you have 150 data points on your 30 best clients. If you get 5, that you can build out a game plan over the next 5 years and how you actually are going to give to them in a meaningful way going forward. So that's what the KYC part is about, is you really need to get to understanding what makes your clients tick, what makes them them. And it's not about the financials, the returns, etc. Even the most famous people on the planet have a favorite movie, a favorite sports team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They have things that they're very, very passionate about. Find those things you're passionate about and use it to your advantage. And there was a second part of that question, and I go on my KYC rant there. What was the other part of the question?
Oh, no, I think you answered it.
Okay, fair enough. So I think the question was, what kind of gift do you send? So it really kind of comes down to knowing the client. So if you know if the client's a golfer, send a golfing gift. If you know they like to travel, focus your gifts around traveling. If you know they like a sports team, make it around that sports team. And the best way to do that is kind of build out a kind of gifting strategy over the next 2 to 5 years. Because you're obviously, let's say they love traveling, they love the Detroit Tigers, and they love golf. So maybe year 1's a traveling gift, year 2's a Detroit Tigers gift, year 3 is a golf gift, and then you recycle back to traveling on year 4, year 5. I hope that's kind of making sense there, but like have a strategy on when you're going to gift and how you're going to gift. And the best way to do that, what I tell financial advisors, is this strategy is not for all your clients. These are for your super A and A clients.
The ones that you would clone if you could.
The ones that you want to clone. And simple math. The best way to do this is to take your top 24 clients, do 2 a month. Simple as that, right?
I like that.
Easy as that. They get each 2 a month. Couple, or obviously an individual, gets a personalized package from you. It's not going to take that much time. It might take a little more time than you're comfortable with at start, but once you start to get in the rhythm of it, it'll be a lot easier. Other solution is you can hire us. That's what we do. But I'm not going to sell our service here on the podcast, but that's what we do.
No, you can.
Yeah,
we're all about that.
All right. Yeah. So
That's
we put together, we ask questions, and then we put together the package for you and send it on your behalf. All you really have to do is give us the client's name, address, and we do the rest of the work for you. So we try to make it as seamless as possible for you to create these wow moments. And the best part is they'll never know it's from us, because your name's on the shipping package, shipping label, and our name's nowhere to be tied to it. It looks like it came from you, and it has a profound effect and gets a great return on investment from your best clients.
And science proves that giving makes you happier than receiving. So they'll receive your gift, you'll get raving feedback, and you will feel so good. I actually sent a gift to a previous client who gave me a referral for a new client that's going to onboard in May. So I got her a gift, and I also got a little onboarding gift for the new client. And I feel like I am more excited about it than they're probably going to be. But, so giving is better than receiving, but also it's going to be helpful for your marketing.
Let me give you a quick example of what I'm talking about here, because I think will kind of help advisors listening. And first advisor, this example I'm going to talk about kind of went against a little bit of the grain of what I tell my financial advisors to do. This advisor wanted to still keep it birthdays, but really do highly personalized birthday gifts, and which is fine. I'm okay with that. It's highly personalized gifts. We still recommend like not doing like maybe just a birthday card or a birthday wish or phone call. But anyways, here's the profound effect this can have on your business. And this is what this financial advisor did. So this is probably 2 years ago now. I said, okay, well, his name was Jeff. Like, what can we do for you? And he's like, well, my third best client's got his birthday coming up here in about 3 or 4 weeks. And I said, okay, well, what do you know about the client? And he said, well, he's a big Star Wars fan. And said, stop. That's all we need. Let me do the rest. And we put together this nice customized Star Wars happy birthday card with the a Jedi on the front, with the Star Wars sky theme, a Jedi themed Star Wars happy birthday note. And he actually did tell me, they ended up telling me as we're going through buying the gift process, that this individual loved scotch or bourbon or whatever. I'm not a whiskey drinker, but we bought him like a Star Wars Darth Vader decanter with his name on it. It's sent in the mail. This client loved it so much, he posted it on Facebook. Look at what my financial advisor did for me. I put the card and the picture. Now, it's not going to have, you're not going to have people lining up the door to say, oh, I got to talk to this financial advisor because he did this. But that was free marketing for your business outside of buying the gifts, to his Facebook community saying, hey, look what my financial advisor did for me. Put your name in a good light. And I think that sometimes financial advisors struggle with that. Like, I send a gift, oh, that client didn't respond or didn't send me a referral right now. Doesn't mean they didn't appreciate it. Doesn't mean that they're not going to refer you. Just they're busy just like you. You got to play the long game with the gifting strategy. I guess where it's going. Other part, I had a financial advisor probably late last year. We did not late last year, kind of like October-ish. We did some gifting, and one of his best clients was an Eagles fan. I don't know if you know, but the Eagles went to the Super Bowl this year. They had a great season. We photoshopped his client's name on the Eagles scoreboard. Just, hey, #1 Eagles fan, Jeff Smith, whatever the client's name was. Inside was an Eagles logo. Jeff, to the world's biggest Eagles fan, we thought you'd appreciate these coasters. Thanks for being such a great client. I think over the next 90 days, that client gave him like 4 or 5 referrals. Now, we can't directly tie that to the gift, but it was coincidence that 4 or 5 referrals just came in after this nice Eagles gift. And once again, it cost this advisor $120. Like, it wasn't with my fee.
$120 is cheaper than any lead that I can get you, most likely. I
And
mean, we always look at return on investment, right? So like people are like, oh, your service is $36,000 a year. I'm like, yes, but you signed one client and you well blew that $36,000
yep.
out of the water, right? So $120 that you could get increase your revenue by $50,000 a year or more. I mean, depending on their assets, but
So I
seems
mean,
like a no-brainer to me.
yeah, and
And
I
even
think
if you
once
don't
again,
get a referral, retention. I mean, retention is the other side of the coin, right?
yeah, I mean that client and market goes a little bit crazy like it has, or you mess up a service issue, like having these wow moments in your bag or it's planned out for the next 3 to 5 years, having just different touch points that are personalized throughout the year, keep clients happy because they show you much care. They understand that you're human, you're going to make mistakes. So having these will obviously keep them advocates. If when it does a mistake happens or the market does go down like it has, they're going to stay happy the whole process.
Right. So pick some different holidays besides regular old stuff, put them on a schedule. You know, as far as implementation goes, you can either outsource it to somebody like Jeremy, you know, or if you can handle it on your own, or maybe you have an intern that can, I don't know if I would give
I
that.
mean, even what we do, sorry to interrupt you. I mean, we actually come in and consult and put together like a whole gifting game plan for you as well. So we can come in, we usually do 3 45-minute sessions. We had a fourth one on for extra fee if you want us to come in and actually walk you through the first 3 client processes, how we would do it, what we recommend, help you create the card. But it's usually 3 45-minute calls. We get you set up with the list of gifts, knowing your client, how to create the cards, what we'd put in a card, etc. And like I said, that fourth session, if you want it, we actually walk you step by step with 3 of your best clients and what we would recommend doing for those clients.
Oh, that's really attractive, actually. I like that. I would definitely do that.
So you hear everybody? Sold. She's on board.
You don't even have to figure it out on your own. You can just have him come do it for you. Which is, you know, I'm sorry, advisors, but you don't need another thing to do. So find someone to do this for you. I think that we can all agree on that. So that kind of covers the logistics. You can either come in and help them consulting, or you can just handle it for them, right?
Yep.
So I feel like we've talked about so much of this, but how can the financial advisors stay ahead of the curve and continue to impress their clients?
Yeah, so I think it goes back to number one, doing that game plan, understanding to know your clients, you know, getting 2 to 5 things that you can utilize, and then really kind of planning that out over the next 1 to 5 years, right? What does a gifting strategy look like for my top 30, whatever the number is, right? What does that look like over the next 5 years, and have a game plan on what you're going to send. And then what I tell financial advisors, not only do you just do a gifting strategy, is throughout the year, it's simply some, you know, personalized emails, some personalized cards. We're big fans of using random holidays to stay in front of clients. So St. Patrick's Day, April Fool's Day, the Masters, March Madness. Recently, we sent out a bunch of March Madness cards that people love college basketball. We did a bunch of opening season baseball. So it really depends on what your taste. Actually, on our website on Coinflip Marketing, if you click under resources, we have a tab called Law of 29. It gives you 6 ideas every month to drip, or actually on your prospects or clients. You pretty much, there's a day of the year for everything now. So there's all this information, use it. We've already got the cards. You can just copy and paste, send them there on our website. But that's really another way to kind of help stay in touch, is these random holidays throughout the year. Is just saying, I'm thinking of you. And to be honest with you, when's the last time you had a St. Patrick's Day card, or, you know, opening day baseball card? Assuming most people on this call have never gotten one. So you'll be the first and probably the only person ever to send that individual that type of card or that type of outreach.
Yeah, and we'll provide all the links for this stuff in the show notes so that you can go find the Law of 29. He literally does have every single month. You can go, there's a list of 5 or 6. I've even used his suggestions before for my clients. The Masters was one from last month.
St. Patrick's Day. July is National Ice Cream Month. Here's the March Madness one we did this year. Here's the Masters week one we did. So,
Yes. So many options. So there's really, you can cover that personalization piece by sending something that, you know that those clients are interested in. And, you just don't want to be that advisor who only sees their folks on an annual basis or a quarterly basis or whatever, how often you have your reviews. That is not.
and I agree with you. I mean, I tell my advisor, and like, I mean, we talk probably once every 2 or 3 weeks because something comes up in my business that we have to do something, and he helps me out a lot with that. And I'm very appreciative of that. And that's why I work with him, because he understands my issues as a business owner. But like, I always joke with him, like, what are you doing when you're not talking to me? Like, kind of joking with him, right? Like, what are you doing? I know he's obviously busy. I'm not saying you guys aren't doing anything. I'm kind of joking because I have a good relationship with him. But like, that's what your clients are probably thinking, like, well, what are you doing if you're only talking to me once a year?
Yeah.
So I think that's where these steps, like these processes, having these different type of outreaches can really, number one, from a retention standpoint, keep your clients as sticky as possible. But also too, from a prospecting standpoint, having these different touch points is for people you maybe met that didn't come clients, maybe people in your community that love to get clients. It's just kind of a slight little drip on them that keep you top of mind that probably their financial advisor sure as heck's not doing unless they're listening to this podcast. So.
Right. So we always are talking about differentiation. How can you stand out and how can you be different from the crowd? This is one surefire way, because I guarantee you, even though it's definitely something that's feasible for most people, we know how it goes. We are busy with life, whatever. That's why Jeremy is here to get us set up and get this running for us so that we can be sticky with our current clients and get those super raving fan referrals.
Agreed.
Jeremy, last thing I would like to ask is that you already mentioned the gift giving book, Giftology, in the beginning, but are there any other resources or tools that financial advisors can use to get inspiration for their gift giving?
Yeah, so you can probably see my book up there. It's on my website. We'll include the links. We created a book called 50 Wow Moments, how to create moments that your clients and prospects remember. It's literally 50 ideas that are fairly cheap, that actually, some of them are gifting, but some of them aren't gifting, that you can do to create these wow moments that create raving fans. On our website, under the financial advisors tab, we actually have about an 8-page guide on actually how to implement personalization into your practice specifically for financial advisors. So those are really kind of the 2 resources. And the third one I'd say is follow us on LinkedIn. We're constantly posting about ways to wow your best customers, ideas, gifting strategies, whatever the case may be. Just putting out a ton of content, ton of value for you to kind of take and run with it. So those would be the 3 places I would say from Coinflip Marketing that we could potentially help you. And I know you're going to put those in the links for them to kind of click on. So.
Yeah, I am actually looking at the guide right now, and it looks like there's a lot of good stuff in here, and I can't wait to read it and share it with everybody.
I'll send you the quiz on Monday then.
Oh, geez, that's what No, it looks really, really like there's a lot of actionable takeaways in here. It's not just a bunch of words. So, Jeremy, thank you for being here. Why don't you just tell our clients one more time, our guests one more time, where they can find you on social media and your website. And of course, the links will be included, but.
Yeah, so once again, Jeremy Blubaugh, if you type in Jeremy Blubaugh, BLUBAUGH on LinkedIn, we pop up. I'm pretty sure I'm the only Jeremy Blubaugh on LinkedIn. www.coinflipmarketing.com is our website. And on the top there's a resource or who we serve tab. If you scroll over it, hit financial advisors. There's a ton of content on there to kind of talk about what we do, but also some free content like that guide I'm talking about, so you can read, get a little better understanding about personalization in your practice and gift giving.
Right. And the resources tab, you can learn about the mailers, the blogs, the videos, the resources, and that's where you'll find the Law of 29, which are those monthly ideas to create touch points with your clients. Jeremy, thank you so much. This has been a blast. Now I'm going to have to send you a gift for being a podcast guest. So, I just told you I ruined the surprise.
That's a time I'll forget about in 3 weeks.
Okay. Wait, note to self, wait 3 weeks. But thank you again. This was awesome. And you guys, thank you for tuning in to Get Advisor Fit, where we encourage you to lift heavy, invest often, and market your ass off.
Thanks for listening to Get Advisor Fit with Olivia Luper. To learn more about Olivia and how her firm, Lexicon Content Development, can help you, visit lexiconcontentdevelopment.com. If you want to reach out to Olivia on LinkedIn, you can find her at Olivia Luper Lexicon. And if you'd like to follow Olivia on Instagram, you can find her at Lexicon Content Development. Till next time.